Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so let's jump right into it. I'll watch the participation window. So in case Dave does jump in, I'll let him into this meeting, obviously. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So I understand, yeah, so yesterday I sent an email out regarding the Google O authentication. I don't know, I think I included everybody on this email. Brian, I'm not sure if I sent it to you. I don't know if you were copied on that. So
No.
Jeff, did you happen to get that email?
I did, yes.
Okay, great. So yeah, so I know it's probably a real complicated email. There's a lot going on basically, but what we're seeing is that when I'm connected to your system, there's no issues. It's churning and going. I even have the database open right now to show you that it appears to be that whenever it's one of your email addresses that are associated with the Google one, it works for a couple of days and it just shuts off. And so what we found is, and I have the email here, I can show you. Let me show you.
And Jody, I believe I probably have access to like the Google Workspace admin console.
Okay.
In case there's a setting we need to try to change or to look at.
That would be great. Let me show you this email that I have first. Let me pop that out. Like I said, it's really hard for us to test on our side because it's refreshing on our end. And so this screenshot that I showed you yesterday, and again, I can show you too right now, but basically when it's connected to my account, like you see the J Orozco on it, it's refreshing every 15 minutes, like it's doing on your side. It's doing it automatically right now. I even, before this meeting even started, I went into my Google Calendar and I added another event, like literally within last 5 minutes. And if I refresh this, see, it popped up right there, test 6. So it's refreshing every 15 minutes, just like it's supposed to. It's doing it automatically, which works great. But when I look at Jeff's account, it errors out after a few days. And again, I think the reason why is because I think it's either under test mode and Google lets it happen for a while and then it just shuts those authentication tokens off. Or like you said, there's a setting on your side somewhere that we're not privileged to see. I don't know which one it is. Let me bring up that email. So right here, I found a real obscure website somewhere within Google, and they're saying authorizations for test users expire 7 days. It looked to me like Jeff's was expiring before 7 days. It didn't look like it. I think it was timing out within like two days or so from what I could tell. I'm not 100% sure on that. So, but I did find this. So I'm thinking maybe it's that, or maybe it's a setting on your side that if you want to kind of look over and try to see if there's something on your end that's just stopping it from refreshing itself.
And do you have any advice of where I would start to look for that? I'm not familiar with how you guys have built this.
No, I'm not familiar with that at all. I went through our side and I can even look on our side as far as like the consent forms and everything that within Google. But again, I would have no idea even if the setting is on your side, where to look for that. So for example, right here. So I'm in the Google Workspace right here for our calendar integration. This is the app that we built. Notice it's still in testing mode, and I have your accounts here that you've sent us. So it's all in here. And that's really all there is. I don't see anything else as far as like, there's a setting here. Like I said, unless it's something on your side that we don't have access to.
So are you saying if I pull up the Google Cloud API and services, you could walk me through and at least see our side? Because I'm going to look at you as the subject matter expert. You know, we're providing an SSO user for something you guys built. And other than that, I've just never seen this issue with any other SSO integrations we've done.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely look into it. Since this is the first time we've ever built this, we built it for Office 365. I mean, that's running, but this is the new application that we built specifically for Sauk Valley. So other than that, we have no other testing ways of testing it or verifying it. The only thing I can do is, like I said, is if we publish it, we can do that. And then also, and I put this in the email as well, is that Google just requires us to send like a video of it, stuff like that. And so I just wanted to have confirmation or verification on your side said that we do have your permission to at least just videotape. Hey, this is the way the schedule works. This is what's having to do. Submit it to them and see if that resolves it. But yeah, if you want to
Okay.
share your screen, I'll be happy to poke around if you can show me your screen, and we can kind of try to figure it out from there too.
Okay. It
I,
says,
I logged into Who's Next just now, and it says the last time I was refreshed was 11/14, 2023, and that's 7 days after the first time I connected.
Okay. Okay, so maybe it is that. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Um, that's a good
You
thought.
want me to do you want me to disconnect and try and reconnect, or just
If you want to
either
do that, that'd
that.
be great.
Well, and Jody, do you want to change your, there you go. You're doing it already. Yeah. I
Mhm.
just wanted to see the query with Jeff's user.
Yep. I don't remember his username, but if I could do last name.
Yep. Borg.
I know he has two accounts in there, so I'll just pick or
should just be just Jeffrey.j.bork with a GEO. There
yeah,
we go.
yeah, it was this one.
I wonder if it's because when did I change? No, I haven't changed my password that recently. Let me try and disconnect and reconnect here. See if you see that now.
And also, Jeff, if do you have anything in your calendar for like later
I,
today or in the future?
I don't, but I can add an
That's
appointment real
yeah,
quick.
do that too, because you'll notice where it says last sync, that part only records if it finds one or more events. So once it finds
Okay.
something in your calendar, it's gonna sync it and it'll put it in there. And then that's why we put a timestamp so we can say, hey, this is the last, like you notice it did air it out just 7 minutes ago because it's still trying to connect to his account, but it's not doing it.
And then Jody, when I go to share, it does say that sharing is disabled by the host.
Yeah, yep. Let me do that for you real quickly.
Okay.
I don't know if I can make you the co-host. I don't know if I can share. I don't know if you can share your screen while I'm still sharing mine. I can stop sharing mine if you need to.
Okay, yeah. Now it changed my prompt and it just said we'll change. So all right, here's my admin console.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Updated email users.
Sorry, and
Okay.
this top bar is super annoying.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I add an appointment.
Perfect. And then what I'll do on my side real quickly is it's gonna run. I think it's run every 15 minutes, so I'll wait another 7-8 minutes or
Okay.
so, and then refresh that query. And then we can look at your screen. So add user, delete user, dashboard. Okay, let's look at first things first. Let's look at directory. Users.
and this is, I guess right now I'm in like Google Workspace. Should I be in Google Cloud? Is that what you would expect?
Well, our system is in Google Cloud. So
Let's try that.
let me, yeah, okay.
Let's do cloud because that should pull up. And then council. Okay, so I see my APIs and services. This is where I needed to get you to.
And you're connecting to that. Okay. Okay, so that looks very similar to what ours on our side. Oh, can you click the third option? Authentication screen consent. There you go. But choose how you want to configure and register your. Okay, so this is like a new app though, but you're not doing a new app because the app is on our side.
The app's on your side, so our users are connected to your side, so you would have control of the OAuth, not us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we do have that. I guess that's where the test environment, the test user counts, that's where we put those 7, 8, or 9 emails in there. So that's working. So that's there. Okay. Let's go back to the one you were before the workspace. Let's look at that. We'll click on users.
Okay.
And maybe click on if you see yours or Jeff or somebody. And like for like individual settings.
And typically this would be all the things like with his Gmail side of the SSO account. So like from here, I could touch all of his Google account settings, put them in different listservs for Google stuff, more like mail routing and stuff. I don't know that there's a whole lot of user configuration right here. That last error, it looked like it was like a 401 unauthorized, so I'm not sure who's stopping who.
No, so usually what that is because we have the access token and the refresh token. The access token is only valid typically for about 60 minutes and then it terminates itself. We have to use a refresh token to contact Google and say, hey, using this refresh token for Jeff, give us a new access token. And we have that code that does that and it's doing it now. If that refresh token cannot work or expires, that's what's happening. And then that's where I think where I'm seeing that email before says after 7 days it just kicks off. So I have a feeling that's what it is. Jeff, have you connected? You haven't connected your calendar again yet, have you?
No, it's connected.
It is connected. Okay, let me check.
Yep, and I've got an appointment scheduled out there for tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And I wouldn't doubt if Brian may have a appointment or meeting out there as well.
Yep, I do on for this Friday. I have it.
So last name Johnson would be another query.
Let's take that one. Let me take out my username on that one. Just do
Go ahead and stop sharing for now.
Thank you.
And thank you, Brian and Jane, for being on this meeting. I know we're a bunch of geeks.
So is Brian.
Like I said, I understand about half of, a little over half of what you're doing.
Okay, so it hasn't refreshed yet. I'm not seeing it. Jeff, which user account are you logged in as? As the Jeffrey.j.bork?
Jeffrey.j.bork, yeah. And that's where my appointment.
For some reason it says Google First Connected and it's pretty much nulled out. So let me see if you have your
check again. Make sure it shows on my end. Oh, maybe it didn't connect. Try it again here.
Yeah, mine should be connected if you wanted to let mine, see if that's working.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's connected now, but the time on it's kind of goofy.
It's
The
probably
time says like 7:13 p.m.
Yeah. That's no problem. Brian, what is your username?
It should be Brian D. Johnson. Brian.D. Johnson.
And I would assume Brian may have a little bit more normal usage history in the database just because he's probably not disconnecting and connecting his calendar daily. I've asked him to put a meeting
mine's been
on.
connected for quite a while, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, first connected for last resync to last.
And I just went on there checking. I've been connected for a few weeks now.
Okay. Yeah, so once we get the access token, once we get this figured out, then yeah, we won't have to disconnect, reconnect anymore. So it just does that. Jeff, I am seeing that you are not connected. I do see that you have an access token, so it has in there too. Obviously, your refresh token is in there too. Let me check that. And we should be kicking off the resync here in a little bit, one more minute or so.
Okay.
So let me query that part of the table here. And let me show you. I'm going to share my screen again. I don't know if you can see that. Not that.
I'm actually looking at my Google Calendar when it was last refreshed, and mine also says 7 days.
See, so it's got to be that then. It's got to be it's a day and it gets off. It has to be that. Has to be that. So notice, yeah, it is. I see your access tokens here. Jeff, you're connected again, so everything's good. If I do a sort by your username and then by the start date, just for you two, there's Jeff's, there's Brian's, and Jeff. When you said you have a future date in the system in your calendar.
Yeah, I do. It's let me take a peek again. I think it's for tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I've just set it to in person.
Okay.
And it's just in dash person.
And I
All
have one
lowercase.
set up for Friday from 8 to 12.
As do I.
You do too.
And
Let's do that. Let's do that. Let me check. There's Jeff's. Look at that. That error changed. It didn't say, it doesn't say authorized. Now it says forbidden. Why does that say forbidden? From authorized to forbidden. Why would it say that? You have your access token. You have your refresh token.
And the Google Last Sync shows 9:25.
Yeah, because it didn't connect. See that before, if you remember, it said 401 unauthorized. That's what it was before. And now the error changed. It just ran. It ran at 2 seconds after 3:15 or 1:15. But saying forbidden, not unauthorized. Why would it say that? And that is your email address, right? Jeff, did you used?
Yep. That is correct.
Let me make sure you're still.
I don't know why, because originally it said, sometime in November was my last sync date.
Jeff, could it actually be because of the fact that I noticed in your calendar you have it marked off as you not being available for from like 8 to 9?
On what day?
The day that you set up the open on Friday, you have it set to?
No,
Or
that
never mind. That's not
Yeah.
it. Never mind.
that wouldn't be the case.
Hey,
No,
hey,
what's
Jody.
happening? Yes, sir.
I wonder if this is a little bit of like, so your user works and it gets the credential. I'm wondering if we're getting a forbidden message, basically just saying like, hey, this database knows about Jeff's credential, but it doesn't have access to this application yet. Because I'm thinking if you have like a native Jody, last name user, that's coming in from a different side and may just have inherited a different access than what all of our Google accounts would natively have. That's what I'm seeing with the biggest difference between unauthorized and forbidden. The forbidden status code indicates that the server understood the request but refuses to authorize it. This is used when the server recognizes the client and their authentication credentials, but those credentials do not grant the client permission access to the resource. So I almost wonder on the app side, I don't know how users are necessarily provisioned access to get to the nitty gritties, but your user versus our user, we're kind of seeing some consistencies. It's basically saying that access is not allowed. Like maybe we need a couple more checkboxes for his user to request or even to maybe write to that database or to that refresh token area.
Well, it's passing it. Google, when he connected to it, it passed the access token and refresh token. We have it and we stored it. It's there. It's now when it's trying to use it, like you just, and that access token would still be active because when the access token it lives for about 60 minutes. And then that's why we need the refresh token. He just connected his calendar. So that access token should still be good. The fact that it's giving forbidden tells me that I think you're right. There's something behind the scenes, maybe because it's just set as a test user.
Yeah, and it could be something as silly as that too. That would stink.
Yeah. So
yeah, because I don't see your user in that list.
And it's not because it's tied to us. I mean, we're
Right.
the application, so it's probably like, okay, cool. It knows Jody, it knows who it is, and that's why it's refreshing. And the fact that
Yep.
it's letting Jeff connect to it gives us the tokens and the scopes and everything that it's requesting, and then a minute later saying, nope, we're not going to give you access to it. It has to be something like that. It's got to be something funky going on with this here. What I'm going to recommend, see, the user type is make it internal, but if we make it internal, that's only for our organization. That's not your organization. So that wouldn't work. The only way around that would be if we created the application. There's two ways to do it. And again, I'm just thinking out loud here, is if we recreated this application on your side and
I think
within
it'd
your
fix it.
Google account, that, and all we would need at that point is just like the app code, the app secret, stuff like that, that our application would use to connect to it, or we publish it. We publish this, and this is where like, okay, we're gonna have to provide all this information, and then Google is gonna have to go there and verify it. If it's anything like Office 365, they're fast. I mean, they just approved our stuff within a matter of a day. Zoom was a bear to get our stuff authorized through them. So we can do this if we want to. And it talks about the verification process right here too. So what sounds better on your side? Do you want us to publish ours and see what they say, or do you want to try to recreate the application within your Google
I'm
Cloud
probably
and go from
what
there?
I'll probably do is I'd like to talk this out with Dave Habben to see if he has a preference of where the application lives, so that way, because that could affect some scopes and stuff for us. But yeah, I'll take his recommendation and I can get back to you in the group to say, hey, let's just go ahead and either publish it and give a try that way, or we'll just go ahead and migrate this app to be a little bit more native to Sauk, so that way our users are starting to have the right access.
That's correct. Yeah, and it would all be all internal in that point, and just kind of go off from there. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and do that. As far as the other ones we talked about, like I said, like when the student makes an appointment, they get a confirmation, it was redirected to another school. That has been fixed on our code side. We'll update your server here shortly. That will take
Sure.
care of that. The information, the redirect, that's all been taken care of already as well. The big point is just this one. We just need to make sure that the access token and refresh tokens of Google's is being refreshed like it's supposed to be.
All right. Well, I think our next steps, Jody, will be once this recording's finished, if you just want to flash it over to me, I'll give Dave a little bit of time with it, and then him and I will talk to figure out maybe what our next approach will be for this.
Okay. So I'll save it. I'll upload to our private YouTube channel at this very moment.
Okay, and then I did have one other question, and all this stuff will probably get resolved, but just when someone does like an online meet, we would assume that it's going to generate a meeting link and then add them as an invitee. So, and okay, and we can, once we get this refresh token, we'll go ahead and do all the testing for that and certify that part too, because so far we haven't seen that work.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We'll get all that
Okay.
squared away. Absolutely. And then the reminders go out, and everything like that too. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Jane or Brian, did you guys have any other concerns that we need to voice at this time?
I can't really think of any.
Okay.
Neither can I.
Okay, well, thank you again for your patience. And like I said, I think that we're making some forward progress. And once we get all this stuff into the right bucket, I think it's all going to work for us.
I agree. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll disconnect this. I'll save the meeting right now, upload it, and I'll send you a link to it.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Sounds
Thank you very
good.
much. Have a good day.
You too.